Alright, so the last video I was struggling to get this menu working and positioned to the right side here, and what I ended up having to do, I'll walk you through, is position the actual icon, the menu icon that we have, absolutely, and then I needed to align it about one rim, which is what we're using as kind of our global padding from the edge on mobile. It was kind of a pain because there was some conflicting styles going on. Some stuff was prohibiting it from just pushing to the side, and what I ended up doing is just positioning it absolutely, and it ended up working for me. But then when I got to open it, the icon, the close icon, wouldn't stay in place. It was actually way over here, and it was kind of a weird bug. So if you copy that code pen example, you might have to change some things, but luckily you'll have my code to work with if you're following along. The big weird thing that I noticed is when the menu was opened, this burger container class was rotated 90 degrees, so it put everything up here down below, and I think it was for the animation effect that we removed earlier. I wasn't fond of it, so I just started stripping things away and experimenting, and I finally arrived to where I wanted to. So luckily it didn't take me all day to figure out, but sometimes it does, and that stuff's aggravating. Like, I'd really love to have this height be just 100%, but if for some reason, I think it may be because of Flexbox or something like that, I have to go about that differently and just do it as legit height. So right now I'm just trying to match our photo. Okay, so we got the menu icon, that's all great. What we need next is that branding in the top left. So I'm going to actually put that in our theme here as inside this container, and then give it a class of like mobile logo or logo mobile. And in this, I'm going to actually embed some SVG because I'd like to tweak it based on the pages we load. Because on the home page, it's going to need a different version than it would on, say, the About page. So I'm going to go ahead. I've already included this and got it out of the design. But we just need to find it. I called it Mark, and it's this giant bit of code here. It's going to look messy, but this is a great way to retain like retina ready kind of screen sharpness with your imagery. So there it is there. So the key thing we want to change is this circle. So I'm actually going to, it's kind of a style already. I'm going to actually remove that and give this an ID of Mark Circle. Like so, it's filled there. This is filled with that color, which is our brand color. I'm going to give that an ID as well, so we can just target it with CSS. So I'm going to go to path, give it an ID, call it Mark symbol. Okay, so right now they should both just be black. Yeah. Okay, so to target that, we need to go back to our mobile menu. Inside the burger container, we need to have that class somewhere. It really doesn't need to be anywhere in particular, but I'm going to add it and at the end, or actually probably at the beginning, just so it's easy to spot. Okay, so right now that is targeting the container around the SVG. We can give the SVG an ID. I might just give it logo brand. Or mobile brand. My bad. So that way we can target it. And honestly, I'm going to do that like so. Mobile brand. I don't need to really adjust the entire SVG that much. I just need to target those things we gave IDs. So I'm going to go back and refresh my memory of what that was. This one is Mark symbol and the other one's Mark circle. So we'll do that. I'm just going to copy these. Or actually, here, we can use SAS again. I hate nesting too much, it gets confusing, but that's okay. Circle. By default, I want to actually include those colors that we use back. Can't remember what the darker color was. I think it was just our brand secondary. With SVGs, you have to use the fill attribute or selector, whatever you call that value. With this, actually, this is brand secondary. The other one is brand primary. Let's just verify that works. Does not. Because we don't need those. Okay, cool. So that's going to look good on the other pages. For the home page in particular, I need to target it specifically. So what I will do, I think I have an actual header home style sheet. Home header. Or no, it's in the header style sheet, but it's under header home. So I'm going to do mobile menu, mobile or brand, is it, what did I call it? We don't need to go that deep, we'll just do logo mobile. And inside that's our SVG, mobile brand. And all I want to do is target the circle, mark circle, if I can spell, and fill that with white. I think it's because we are doing this. If I put this there, there we go. One thing I notice is that no matter where you click on the top now, it's going to open the menu, and that's because I had to set the width of that to be something other than 50 pixels, because if I do 50 it'll shoot it left again, which isn't ideal. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make this work where that isn't an issue. So that's another hurdle I'm trying to figure out. We're not quite 100% sold, like even clicking on the logo doesn't do anything, which is kind of sad, but we can adjust that, I think, and do position relative z index like 99. No, that's not doing it, because that's positioned absolutely, or no, the whole mobile menu is. I wonder if I put this on top of the container, then bear with me. So instead of in that burger container, we're going to put it above. Shouldn't make a huge difference. We get our... Okay, we don't have a link, obviously. We need to add that. Okay, let's get this stuff going on. Basically copy this. In fact, I'll put that in the div. And we don't need to echo anything out. I'm going to lose the class. Okay, so that's working. We can potentially position that. Absolutely. Top. Okay, so that shoots there, that's there. It looks right. And it looks like it's working. The only issue still is that top bar thing, which in all honesty isn't terrible. I might toy with that and see what comes of it, but at the moment it's not 100% correct. And it's simply because it's spanning that full width, and I cannot get that thing to shoot over to the right for the life of me. The burger icon. It seems like such a trivial thing too, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a snippet. I hope you can include a snippet in a snippet. That would be awesome. Snippet. We'll put the global menu. Snippets. File. Global menu. Paste that in. See if we can't pretty this up. To verify, yeah, it still works. Awesome. Well, actually, let's save. Let's see what kind of errors we get. None. Oh, I like you, Kirby. You're all right. With the snippet in place, all we have to essentially do is copy this bad boy over to our regular header. Paste that in. And head to this page. There's a couple things. I see our logo's doing what we want there. That's awesome. The icons needs to be set specifically there. So I wonder if we can output a body class. Let's see. Page slug. Ooh, that's not right. Because you need an arrow. And HTML on a string. I don't think I need HTML. So right now I don't have it. Okay, cool. So we just need class. Oops, is that right? Yeah. Cool. So the slug of the page will be the way we ultimately target. And actually, we don't even need a unique page. We can just call this page and then target it that way. So on the page, it'll be every page except the home page. So I'll just actually do that here. And we need to target the mobile stuff. Mobile menu, burger, and burger. Background. Okay, that's not exactly what we want. Burger. Oh, okay. Burger bar. There we go. But when it's opened, we want it to be. So if we do and menu opened. Background. Let's do this. Let's do this. Give it that selector, give this selector through, and then we can go in menu opened. But we need to change that logo. Ooh, this is getting fancy. So if we go into opened menu, can I access it? Yeah. So mark symbol, we have mark circle, fill white. So hopefully when I open that, it does turn white. Yeah, that's nifty. Awesome. I mean, ideally this would go full width or height, but I'm not super concerned. I mean, the whole iPhone, we could, I guess I could do that instead of 400, just kind of a random one. By that I mean when this menu opens, we make it the height of actual like iPhone 6. So it just does that. Cool, guys. So I would say that's pretty close. There's obviously a ton of styles we need to still account for, like the iPad. I'm sure looks atrocious. I mean, I'm sure it's okay, but it's not pretty. That might be stuff I do. Oh, and then we have this to worry about. So let's do that real quick. I'm hiding this stuff on mobile. We need to bring it back. I just need to display none, and then on medium display block. So display none, and medium display block. Okay, I don't know why I'm in this view. Okay, so that works. We still need our menu back though. That's interesting though. Because it's displayed none currently. Do I need to have two menus? That kind of sucks if I do. Maybe we'll refig that so this isn't doing that. Maybe it's just certain things are displayed none. Block. Block. You know what? It's honestly probably easier to just include another menu. So we just include our menu include. And we can give it like desktop menu wrapper. In fact, well, I'm going to do it here because we're including this in this one too, just to keep it consistent. Oh, that's on the home page, so that's back. Cool. We need to do that in our regular header too. Not the cleanest way to implement that, because realistically you're printing two menus, but one is hidden, so what are you gonna do, you know? Okay, so at this view, we need to display none on that. Okay, first we're going to go to header home menu. And above this, I'll do desktop. And I'll do this in the actual header file because that's just going to get confusing fast. I can't spell. Done. Okay. If we go to the other pages, is it there? It is. Okay, so we need to do that on. It's kind of interesting that it's there. Oh, it's because I misspelled it there too. Yikes. Okay. Bingo. Alright guys, I think I'm going to stop there. That's pretty good progress, I would say. We're basically complete for the most part. There's some refactoring to do, of course. Things like margins and paddings and stuff on some of these pages I just noticed are kind of inconsistent. We still need to redirect the blog. I will do that coming up soon. But so far so good, I think. So look for the next video to be kind of a cleanup video and possibly getting this redirect going, and then maybe talking about how to deploy this, the best route to go. If you're a newbie to deployment, we can talk about that and using Git to do that almost automatically. I use a certain host that helps me do a variety of things kind of on the fly, so I might show you behind the scenes of how I do things. Most servers or hosts can host a PHP based site on pretty much anything. You can probably host that pretty much anywhere just because it's PHP and uses kind of a universal setup to install a website on. But we'll talk more in the next video about that, and I'll show you maybe a behind the scenes path I would take to deploy this site straight from localhost to live server. So I will see you then.